I speak from my tear ducts. That's why I'm so salty. Hey everyone, and welcome to Aliens on Toast Gaming.
We didn't come up with a name.
We didn't even think really much about this show. But basically, we just wanted to chill out, Sesh, because we don't have many of those. A lot of the time, we're screaming or being very loud, making bird sounds.
Yeah, that's true. That's you. That's you.
That's me. That's always me. Yeah. But yeah, we're just gonna, play a survival game, and during the farming side of things, just chill, talk, relax,
Shoot the
take
shit.
a load off. Yeah, play some smooth jazz. Bling.
Yeah.
I don't have the jazz bone in my body, but anyway. So phone conversations, right? Are they incredibly awkward for you?
Depends who I'm talking to.
Anyone in general?
Well, see, for example, this morning you called me,
Mm-hmm.
right, asking me when I was going to get here, and we spoke, and then I hung up the phone and I looked, and it was 15 seconds.
It felt a lot longer. Oh, man.
And that was okay. And then there's some where the person wants to say goodbye a lot of the time.
Yeah, like you feel
Goodbye,
they're trying to go.
Have fun. Goodbye. Yeah.
Yep.
But you're not finished.
Or like, what if
needs
it's
to be told.
Answer the phone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you. Oh man.
Yeah, I find them. Well, yeah, like the other day when you were at my house, I got you to call up the fish and chip place because
Speaking of
I
which,
didn't want to do it.
like I'm terrible on the phone because I know that I'm usually a bad communicator. So I'll rehearse the shit out of like what I'm going to say, and I'll practice the intonation. So I'll be like, one large chips. No, that's all right. Can I please get one large chips? Okay, no, that sounds good. That sounds good. That sounds like I'm not ordering anything else. I'm just getting the chips. Okay, good. Got my order sorted. And I went onto the phone and pick up, and this guy's like, hello. I don't remember the place's name, but it was like, hello, fish chips. I was like, is this the fish and chip shop? I'm not sure. And he's like, oh, yes. And I'm like, oh, hey, I'd like to place an order, as you do at a fish and chip restaurant. He's like, okay, what you want? I'm like, can I please grab one large beer battered chips, thanks? And he's like, sure thing, what else? I'm like, just the chips, please. And he's like, okay, what else? And I was just like so affronted. I was like, oh shit, what do I do? I failed at like talking on the phone. He's gonna know I'm a fraud. Freaking out. And I was like, but with chicken salt. He's like, okay, I'll put it in. I was freaking the hell out. Like even the 15-second conversation we had this morning, I spent probably a minute 30 beforehand going like, okay, what am I actually going to say on the phone? I need to ask what time he's getting here, but I don't want to make it sound like I'm pushing him to get here sooner. And to be nice. So I'm terrible. I'm like making phone conversations, I'm terrible at. Receiving them, I'm okay at. The goodbye part, I'm horrible at.
I don't like goodbyes.
Yeah, well, it's more that I say goodbye and then I wait for their goodbye. So quite often I'll be like, bye, and then like, okay.
Don't say goodbye. Hey,
yeah,
I hate that.
Or it's like bye, and then like they're like halfway through a conversation that I didn't even realize that we're having, and they keep talking. I'm like, oh shit, fuck, sorry.
Have you ever done that thing where you say goodbye, and then you go to hang up the phone, and as you're hanging up, you hear, wait a minute, and you hang up anyway, and you're like, whoops.
You're like, well,
do I call back or?
They're dead to me now.
Oh well.
Never speaking again.
You know, it's funny when you were talking about practicing for calling me this morning, because when you did, it was like this. My phone thing goes ding 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 like that.
Yep.
And I picked it up. I was listening to music, and so my headphones were like really, really loud. And all it is, hey dude, that's you.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey man, what's up? And you're like, did you plan on when are you gonna get here? Yeah. And I'm like 11:37. You're like, wow, specific. All right, see ya. And that's how it went. And I feel like maybe your planning didn't come to fruition.
It did not.
In that.
It's because whenever I call someone, I'm expecting them to say that, hi, it's Will speaking, or hey, you like, hi, like an initial confirmation that the call has gone through. And when you pick up, you're like, I'm waiting for you, motherfucker.
What up?
You've got to say the first word.
That's true, though. Yeah, I do that because...
So you always put me off, man.
I want people to announce themselves. They're the ones trying to, put themselves onto me.
Force themselves into your private time.
Yeah, totally. So make sure you announce, like people who knock at the door. Call out your name when you're knocking.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, I'm terrible at phone conversations.
Yeah, I avoid them. But unfortunately, so does Melissa. And Ali's too young to use the phone, so it comes up to me.
Put the baby on the phone, like, you're the responsible adult here. Leaves all to my chips.
So yeah, comes to me to do a lot of the calling.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I go outside. I don't like other people hearing me talk on the phone if they're not on the phone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I don't talk in front of people. If I'm going to make a phone call, I go outside. And I don't
get away from people.
Be alone because I don't want them hearing me because I know that I'm awkward already. But if you can't see me doing it, it's not as awkward.
It's less awkward. Yeah, so I understand that.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Something else that I'm absolutely terrible at is emails.
Emails.
Like, because I'll get an email and I'll read it, but I'll read it as I'm on the way somewhere, or like I've got 2 minutes but before my train comes and I'm just like on my phone.
Yeah.
So I don't have time to actually reply to the email. But because I've read it, it doesn't come off as like an unread email, so I don't know I've got it anymore.
Yeah.
So I'll get home and it'll be like 3 days later and I'll be like, oh shoot, still got this email. This is really awkward. Well, it's been 3 days now. I can't answer it because now it seems like I'm really disorganized. Yeah. So I wait until they email me again, being like, "Hey, just wanted to make sure you got my email." I'm like, "Oh no, I didn't. Send it through again, and I'll respond."
It got lost.
It's really bad when this happens like 3 times in a row. Like it happened with my lease.
Oh,
that happened.
Man.
So my landlord was like, "Here's the lease. Can you sign it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure thing."
Just squatting in his house.
It went on for like 2 months. He sent me the lease and I'd be like, yeah, I'll sign it tonight, and I like completely forget because I'm on the train or like 40 minutes from home doing my shopping or something. And then he's like, oh, okay, cool. I sent you the lease like a week ago. Did you happen to get it? And you're like, oh no, I totally didn't, man. Send it through again.
I'm leaving.
Just squatting in his house.
See, that's the flip side. I'm really, really good with emails because you know, I work for the government, so
that's true. Yeah.
I have to be good with them at work. Before that, I would pretty much never even use email.
That's surprising.
I wouldn't email anyone or anything, and I just had like this massive filled inbox of like Hotmail stuff that I like, you know, signed up for.
Yep.
But after that, after I got my job here, I made myself a Gmail, a professional sounding Gmail, and like started using that for all my primary stuff. Now I'm very proficient with emails, and I have to do emailing a lot during the day, so I know what I'm doing with those. And I have it on my phone, my little app. I use it on my phone. I open it up, and I'll respond promptly, mostly because I'm on the train, like all the time if I'm not at work. So I'm pretty good with those. And I always sound very confident and professional on those because I'll have a lot of time to write exactly the right words that need to sound
They're like,
good.
hey, what time you open today? Like, what, mate? Come here, come on.
When you come fucking read the door.
Send them like a horrible reply that you've spent 40 minutes crafting just to burn them at their innermost self. When I was like, when Aliens on Toast, like the animation channel, finally took off, like with the squats video, I set up the email for that channel, which I just set to Aliens on Toast at Hotmail, because Hotmail is the king of all email addresses. And I hadn't used it for years. Like my main email, the one I used for uni and for work and everything else, was like the only one I used. I didn't touch Gmail, didn't touch any of those. I had this one email, but I specifically chose Aliens on Toast at Hotmail for Aliens on Toast. And I opened it for the first time since probably grade 8. And it was like, your inbox is almost full. You have 30,000 unread emails. And for the first 10 minutes, I was like, oh, shit. I've got to go through all of these. What if there's one important email that I can't miss? And it took me that 10 minutes to then realize, like, hey, it's been unread for 10 years. Probably doesn't matter.
Where is it?
Yeah. So just like click select all, delete. And the worst thing was, at that point, Hotmail was still Hotmail. It hadn't been bought out by Outlook or Live or whoever it is now. So the system wasn't great. So when you select all, it just selected all on that page.
And
when you've got 30,000 emails sitting unread in your inbox, it's like, select all, delete, next page, select all, delete, next page, select all, delete. I think I spent 2 hours just going through deleting emails. At work, I think. I was getting paid when I was working at a video production company to delete emails. Because it looked like work. I looked like I was going through like my work email, being like, hey, I'm
some
being a
people
productive member
actually
of this.
get paid for that. So,
That's true. People at Hotmail do.
Delete.
Going through other people's accounts, deleting that email that's been sitting there for 3 days that you conveniently didn't get.
I've been thinking about, just on the topic of emails, I had an email the other day because I have a Tumblr account because one of my friends made a Tumblr to share his art or something like that. And I was like, I'll support him. And I followed it.
Being the good friend you are.
I don't know how to use Tumblr properly, so I made myself an account and everything. And, you know, my name was, Shadim or whatever, like the name I use for everything, my gamer name. But what I found was really interesting is I haven't been on it for a while because he stopped posting anyway, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to go and
Screw that. Yeah.
like it or whatever you can do on there. So I haven't been on it in potentially a year, 2 years. And I got an email from Tumblr saying, hey, if you're not still active, do you mind if we take your name back and like put it back into the open domain, and we'll give you like, user hash 577.
Yep.
That's really cool. I like that, because what if someone jumps on MySpace and they want to make a thing with my name or whatever, and they're like, oh, sorry, that's taken.
That's something more websites should employ.
Totally. I haven't been on a lot of sites in 10 years or
I'm
so.
sure there's like sound effect sites that I've signed up for in like primary school with like, yeah, cool dude number 678. Cool dude 1991.
I reckon that needs to happen. And also, that needs to happen anyway, because you do sign up with really embarrassing names when you're younger. If you still use the site, some don't let you change it.
Yeah. But then I suppose you'd have to delete that site inactive for 3 years before you can change it.
Yeah, well, I think everything should let you change your name anyway. I think when I made a Uplay account so that I could play Assassin's Creed or whatever it was, it just gave me, random user like it does, because I made it through Steam, I think. I don't know. But then when I went to play Division, I was trying to get my friends to play with me, multiplayer, and you have to do it through the Uplay app. You can't do it through Steam.
Oh, God.
And I couldn't get them to find me because my name was user hash 57 whatever. But it gave me like one change. It's like you can change once. So my one change was actually setting a name, and then all the names were taken that I wanted, so I had to use some stupid name.
Willibit.
But it... Yes. Willibit. Wilbur. That's what some people call me. Wilbur.
Yeah, Wilbur.
I don't know why. But yeah, I think all websites should at least have, if not after a certain amount of years, a refresh of their servers or whatever. They should definitely give you a limited amount of changes, so you can change your name when you get older. And maybe have it timed. You can't change it for 6 months.
What would be nice is if you had like
a
whole bunch of websites that just use the same like email and login, so it's all tied together, so you don't have to keep track of. That would
be nice.
Like, I know there's websites that actually like hold that information for you. I don't know the name of it, but
do you mean like how all Google apps?
Yeah, like how all Google apps, you log in once and you're logged into all of those.
They're starting to do that now. They're starting to integrate Google login with other things. Like you can sign into.
I know.
Nvidia
Facebook
stuff.
did it a while ago too.
Facebook did it.
Log in with your Facebook.
Trello did it. Remember we were using Trello to organize stuff.
That's good.
Yeah. So
another thing that I think they should change, or you get the option to change later, is URLs. So, for example, if you have a custom URL for your Facebook page or for your YouTube channel, hint, hint, Aliens on Toast, the YouTube channel, which is actually youtube.com/opothenesis. That shit annoys me because it used to be that you had like 3 changes, which makes you think you could probably change it a few more times. Why limit it to 3? I guess so that you can't keep changing it, so you're like clickbaiting people, so you're not changing it to Markiplier or Jacksepticeye. Like similar names that people might mistype, but you could type those in the first time anyway.
That's true.
I don't see any real reason to limit it so much. And especially if you end up making like this huge channel that you can no longer run, so you pass it off to somebody else, which I've seen a couple of channels do.
Oh, and let them change it.
Yeah, like for like series, there's some web series that have the URL is the name of the web series, but then they start a new series which is titled something completely different,
and the URL
is still like John's Epic Adventure at YouTube. So it's like they're kind of limited in that respect.
Yeah.
Be nice if that could change. But yeah, we probably rambled on for long enough.
Have we? Well, we covered a lot of good stuff, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. Emailing, phone calling.
So if you're getting into like
changing
the office,
URLs.
Career,
we didn't talk about anything exciting.
But everything that could ever keep you on the edge of your seat was ignored. But we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.
See ya.
That worked.
It was good.
It was good.
I like it. Talking about nothing.
Talking about absolutely nothing.